Hey guys, it is 5 a.m. We got a couple things to get excited for. I got a bit of a spoiler of it. I know it's Christy. I know it's going to be something else, but there's a 1 minute patch preview. Let's get into it. Let's see what they've announced. Let's see what's we've all been waiting for. This is our content. Let's get into it. Okay, new side story, Biblis. Okay, so Biblis and Christy. Okay, so she's a water ranger. Interesting. I wonder if this is going to be because no, actually I guess never mind. I was saying like, you know, maybe they're trying to do something with Rift, but it's too early still. After using an attack that targets all enemies except for a basic attack, has a 60% chance to inflict a random debuff on a target for 1 turn, and has a 100% chance to Well, that's not very balanced, is it? So this is, I don't want to say this is power crept. I don't want to say this is power crept. I don't know. Is this from her artifact? Is this just her artifact? Is that what it is? I'm assuming this is her artifact. This looks So you have to use an AoE skill and it gives you guiding light. I don't know how balanced stuff like this truly is. Now, granted, it's not at the beginning of turn, which is kind of its huge value. A lot of people like using guiding light against characters like Zio, or when you're fighting against stuff like Assassin Sid, or, you know, stuff of the nature where someone's going to go ahead of you. But this is kind of in reverse, where like if you presumably outspeed someone, you can kind of gain value from it. However, unlike Knockwall or something like that, where you get defense, or Knockwall's artifact where you get defense break, this is decrease attack, decrease speed, unhealable, and silence. In all honesty, if you get slowed or unhealable, or if you get slowed or unhealable, that's not the worst thing in the world. However, and again, this is being a little bit cope because honestly, guiding light is way better. This is kind of nice for people that still want to have the stealth option or the stealth opportunity. But sorry, this is just wanted to analyze the artifact.
Thank you for the support. I'll try my best.
Oh, that's such a cute animation. That's such a cute animation. She just has her friends behind her. Okay. New Moonlight Theater has Ludwig in it. Oath Season. Okay. The immunity, that looks fine for immunity set. I'm glad that they have a better immunity set coming out. The old one was really bad. Araminta banner, okay. Sharoon banner, okay. I made a video earlier describing these things, and I didn't know what the next upcoming banners were, because they didn't announce it, but I guess it's just last second. Okay, so that is Biblis's banner. Okay, or her artifact. All right, okay, all right. All in all, obviously Biblis and the side story are the main selling point. They didn't talk too much about if there was anything going to happen like within them. And then obviously we also have the video involving Specially Changed Christy. So let's just find that real quick. All right, well, let's watch this.
To victory is simple. Diligent preparation.
She has such a
and
goofy
review.
soundtrack.
Thank you for the support. I'll try my best.
I can't get over that. It's such a funny animation.
You'll be dealt with by the law.
Rumors began circulating among the Wintenberg Dragon Knights about Christie's potential departure to Lafundos. Upon hearing these rumors, Helen and Melanie rushed to her side, where they tried various strategies to persuade her not to.
Okay, that is
When
really,
they learned
that's
how
pretty
determined
high
Christie was to join the
resistance
Lafundos
and
Knights, however,
effective-
the girls
35
decided to
effectiveness
respect
and
her
18
decision and
effectiveness.
pledged their unwavering support, promising to always cheer for their friend.
Huh.
After completing her specialty change, Silvertide Christie's original skill 3
Okay, so increase defense effectiveness of the turn.
is enhanced.
Okay, so she gets
attack of all allies for 2 turns. Increases defense and effectiveness of the caster.
This better be
for 2
good. That
turns
does not
and
sound very
recovers
good
health.
to start. I'm gonna be
Amount
real
recovered
with you.
increases proportional to the caster's max health.
Surely there's got to be something else, right?
First, let's take a look at runes that are related to stats. Trust rune increases effectiveness by up to 15%.
Okay, so okay.
Speed rune increases speed by up to 5.
Speed.
Wedge
Right.
rune increases effectiveness by up to 20%.
So 20, so it's 35.
Prosperity rune increases defense of the ally in the back row by up to 15%.
Okay.
Guard rune. The caster receives up to 20% of damage suffered by the ally in the back row in their place. When more than one damage sharing
So
effect
she's
is
like
granted,
troublemaker.
only the
'Cause-
strongest effect
wait, a
is applied.
weaker?
Next up are the skill runes. Glory rune. With Oath Shield's effect, increases the combat readiness
wait,
increase
wait,
effect.
Okay, wait. So after being attacked when the caster doesn't have a debuff, increases CR of the ally. Oh, okay. But it has to be her. At the start of the first battle, increases ER by 50% casters. So that's what it typically is right now. Okay, so the glory rune increases
of
it
the ally
by
in
an
the back
additional
row by up to
5%.
5%. Health rune increases amount recovered by Dragon Knight's cheer by up to 20%. Fruition rune
Huh.
increases damage dealt by Sword of Protection by up to 10%.
What?
Harvest rune. When using Sword of Protection, if the caster does not have a debuff, has up to a 100% chance to recover health of the caster by 5%. Perception rune. When using Sword of Protection, if the caster does not have a debuff, increases provoke effect chance by up to 25%.
Thank you for the support.
An ambitious knight who has decided her path.
That's it?
Players can begin doing Silvertide Christie's specialty change starting December 7th. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to go over that real quick. So, okay, I know like I'm not like the number one Christie player in the world or anything like that, but it looks like so essentially what they did was they kind of made her similar-ish to Arrowell, but kind of not. So she does get to use her skill 3, or she does have, I guess, baby Aureus technically. Like you're probably still gonna have to run Aureus on her, maybe. But it's just a worse. Oh, this feels really weird because the only thing that sorry, I'm trying to process it because it feels so weird. Like you would expect that this effectiveness buff was effect resistance, but instead she just has, I guess, like 85 built in, or she has like 85 effectiveness, assuming you don't build any stat towards effectiveness at the start of turn, and then I guess that allows you to build like more ER. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like process this, but it is an attack buff on skill 3, which is different and a little bit more interesting or a little bit more aggressive than someone like Arrowell. But essentially what I'm reading here is that you have like a jack of all trades kind of knight. Now again, like you still have Christie's passive of giving the effect or giving half of her effect resistance to the character in the backline, but now you also have the effectiveness, and you would think that the effectiveness is for like a big debuff or something, but it's a provoke. So then presumably if someone wants to maybe forego Aureus, you could, I guess, go Elbrus instead, but it's only a provoke. Like it just feels a little bit weird because it's not even like she gets her effectiveness at the very beginning, or like she gets like this effectiveness buff and the defense buff like at the very beginning. It's after she uses her S3, and like unless I'm mistaken, if these are her stats after she's fully specialty, if she's fully specialty changed or whatever, that's 95 speed. And even if she's 100 speed, in all honesty, this looks weird. She could be pretty good, to be clear. Like, she does give herself defense buff and she does give herself effectiveness buff. But with the state of like the knights that are in the pool right now in EpicSeven right now, you have to think, right? Like, Pillis gives a barrier, cleanses, hit chance, like defense buff to the whole team. A 2-turn attack buff is kind of nice, I guess, if you're trying to use, or if you're trying to give it to characters like Navy Captain Landy or maybe like Spectre Tenebria. But if you have like a team that involves Christie and you have, you know, maybe a character like Solitaria alongside your team, or if you have like someone, I don't know, a bit bulkier, like more like a bruiser, like maybe you take like a Karina or someone, it feels a little bit weird to give attack buff. Traditionally, again, in situations like this, you have characters like Honker Lilius that give vigor and they give like more HP and they become more bruisery. But for some reason, Christie now just has attack buff and it doesn't look like she's supposed to be a very fast unit. I know this is a lot of psychoanalysis. I apologize because I know we haven't even seen her yet. We could watch a little bit of her gameplay. It just feels a little bit odd. To be clear, though, before you get the pitchforks out, she looks great. Like, in terms of design and everything, she looks great. I'm very excited, and of course, I'm going to try her. I just think that they went with a very
December 7th.
Unique set of they just went with a very unique, I think, game plan, in my opinion.
Scar those in our way with destruction and fear. Can you even reach me? This is not the time for renewal.
So you do get a combat readiness push for the person in the back, but I think that's already how Christie worked, if I'm not mistaken.
Try not to feel so indignant. I'm well aware of what you're planning.
Okay.
My tea is getting cold. Utter disgrace.
This is a little bit of a weird team. We have Bologna. We have Bologna, Maid Chloe, Shu. They were almost there, to be honest. Like, Maid Chloe plus a knight is a pretty decent arena offense. But they just don't, like, I don't know why we have, why is Shu in here? Like, Shu makes no sense here. For Knockwall?
Ignore the power of someone with something to protect.
Okay, for clarity, by the way, like, I don't know. I feel like maybe there are people, or there could be people that invest a little bit more in effectiveness on arrow. I don't know. It's fine. She's doing a little bit of damage, I guess.
This is the manifestation of your karma.
Are you ready to order? Don't ignore the queen.
Like, do you see what I mean? So, like, we took, and even in, like, the showcase, for instance, right? We took Christie to obviously not get debuffed with the MO Bologna, but we just have Maid Chloe. So, it feels like a bit of an odd, it feels a little bit weird. I'm not exactly sure why they have this character here. Like, I'm not fully sold on why you couldn't have just taken, instead of Christie here, you couldn't have just taken like a cleanser, mediator Cowrick, or anyone like that. Destina, even. Very odd showcase, I think. Smallgate is not like usually. Smallgate, I can usually at least like try and discern what they're trying to think of when they're showing off the units, but this is a very peculiar showcase, I think. Because this is kind of like, oh well, hey guys, like we have this really, like we have this niche that we want to put her in, but just to make sure that we really hammered in the niche, we gave like the arguably the other really high effect resistance character that everyone loves to use in arena offense, which is Maid Chloe. Like if they had just used, you know, Christie and they'd given us a knight, that like also makes sense, but we even overlapped like buffs, right? No one even hit Christie in this case. She was just a knight. Shu took the most damage here, and it wasn't even showcasing like the Aureus or anything like that. The defense buff didn't even come in handy. This was pretty much just MO Bologna showcase. I'm gonna like browse through this really quick just to make sure I didn't like miss anything else out, or I didn't miss anything else. Why is there no? I was kind of like playing bingo with myself to see if they would do something like this. But instead of basically like giving us, okay, whatever. I won't comment about it, but I think, oh, wait a second. Oh, this is the frame that I'll get. I did arena. Sorry, I'm just looking through all the randoms. Wow, this is a good looking frame. Wow, that is a really good looking frame. Oh my goodness, that is an insane looking frame. I apologize. I'm just looking through some of the other things, like Eternal Ludwig, if you didn't know, is coming out as well. He's like also soon to come out. He looks pretty good. Christy has all of her changes. Again, I'll definitely say that, like, just based off of what we've seen in the patch notes and with like the trailer, she's gaining more base stats, and that's great. And Christy was technically on the verge of being good. Like, people were trying to use her. She has that niche of being like an effect resistance god. But I don't know if it's quite good enough to justify picking her, especially because, again, like, there's other characters that have, you know, built-in Aureus, or they have built-in Escort, which is, you know, even higher than that. Like, Airwall has a lot of stun potential, and maybe this is Christie's time to be more of an offensive knight. Who knows? Like, these are just kind of the impressions that I've got. I've just never really thought of like a slower kind of playstyle that needed attack buff, as opposed to them like gaining defense buff or needing like a heal. Summer Luluka comes to mind in terms of a great character or a great support character that's come out recently that helps slower players, like, kind of like they want these things, right? Like someone like Navy Captain Landy or an Abyssal Euphine benefit greatly from having a defense buff and a heal. I don't really know if every single team needs an attack buff as opposed to a defense and a continuous heal. I'm trying to just make sure I didn't miss anything else. Oh, okay, so we've got new profile card things. This looks really cute. Biblis. Okay, so this is an event that's opening up in 6 days. Special side story. Huh, interesting. I don't know if this means it's going to be a summer Lethe type-ish event yet. We'll just have to see. I hope it's not anything like what we had recently with any of the imprint stuff, but that's something that we can just hold on to and pray for. Anyways, guys, I guess that's basically all we've shown. Long story short, Biblis didn't get shown yet. Her artifact looks decent. It looks like a budget Guiding Light, in case if you aren't able to get Guiding Light, but it's not even a collab artifact, so if you need it, you should just, you know, get the artifact when you need it. However, Christy, I'm kind of on the fence about. Like, I'm sure other players will try to use her, and like the effectiveness will be kind of funny, but the only thing that you're enhancing for the effectiveness buff that you have to use, it's not even like it's just built in whenever you take a turn, like you have to press S3. It only allows you to provoke more with her skill 1. And her provoke, unless I'm mistaken, is only a 75% chance. So maybe I'm mistaken. If it's even if it's 100%, like a chance to do the provoke is not the greatest thing in the world. But I'm assuming that people are gonna run her on Elbrus or something like that. Elbrus, and be able to use her skill 3, but the effectiveness buff is only 2 turns. I don't know. Maybe she'll be really good. Maybe she won't. I don't know. But I'm excited to try her. She looks really fun, and her animation and everything looks really great as well. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, turn the notification bell, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed watching this content with me. I'll see you all next time. Have a great evening, morning. Bye-bye.